मेरे साथ मौजूद है कवे मूसवी। कवे मूसवी का शॉर्ट इंट्रोडक्शन ये है कि ये वो शख्सियत हैं जो ब्रॉडशीट के सीईओ हैं, और ब्रॉडशीट वो कंपनी है जिसने चंद महीने पहले पाकिस्तान से तकरीबन 35 मिलियन यूएस डॉलर का केस लंदन में जीता है, लंदन हाई कोर्ट में जीता है। वो पूरा केस कवे मूसवी रन कर रहे थे, और जो टोटल जो कॉस्ट है अभी तक पाकिस्तान को वो 65 मिलियन यूएस डॉलर से ज़्यादा पाकिस्तान को पड़ चुकी है। कवे मूसवी वो हैं जिनकी कंपनी को परवेज़ मुशर्रफ ने हायर किया था आज से तकरीबन 20 साल पहले कि वो नवाज शरीफ के जो लूटी हुई जो इल्ज़ाम है कि लूटी हुई दौलत है उसको वो रिकवर करेंगे। लेकिन अब कवे मूसवी ने यह कहा है कि उनको इस पूरे अरसे में नवाज शरीफ के ऊपर कुछ नहीं मिला, 1 रुपया उनके ऊपर नहीं मिला, और वो इस हवाले से एक बड़ी स्टेटमेंट देने जा रहे हैं। कवे मूसवी, व्हाट डू यू हैव टू से अबाउट आफ्टर ओवर 2 decades of investigating Nawaz Sharif? What have you found on him?
Nothing incriminating, nothing other than a publicly spirited member of society, a citizen of Pakistan who has devoted his life to public service and has been the target of a witch hunt by powers that be. Frankly, I wish I had known what I know today. I would have never embarked on this enterprise of 22 years of being in association with that corrupt organization called National Accountability Bureau.
Are you saying that during all this time you did not find any evidence of corruption related to Nawaz Sharif and his family anywhere in the world?
Precisely. That's what I'm saying.
So, what do you have to say to Nawaz Sharif? I mean, all of that happened. Do you regret anything? Do you have to say anything to Nawaz Sharif?
We become wiser with events, Mr. Sharif, and 22 years ago, even I was a young man, and so I was an idealist, and I fell for the view that the Musharraf government intended seriously to fight corruption, and I'm sorry to say you were the victim of that witch hunt, and for whatever I have done in those years in being having added fuel to that enterprise and endeavor, I wish I hadn't. That doesn't mean we didn't find a lot of plundered money, but not one rupee, I emphasize, that could be connected to either former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif or indeed any members of his family. Not one rupee.
In good faith, are you saying sorry to Nawaz Sharif for being part of the whole process?
In good faith, I'm saying I'm sorry. I was not part of a process that turned out to be nothing other than a fraudulent witch hunt for the purposes of political calculations of those who wanted to derive personal and political benefit out of that. Yes, I wish we grow wiser, as it were, and if I had had the knowledge that I have today, if I'd known the facts today, I would have certainly dropped that investigation on day one. Nawaz Sharif, former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, has been the victim of a massive witch hunt. Nobody deserves that. Nobody who has devoted their lives to public service deserves that. They say, you know a person through their enemies, and frankly, Mr. Nawaz Sharif should wear that as a badge of honor, that his enemies are at the NAB, the National Accountability Bureau, which frankly is a racketeer influenced, and it's a corrupt organization.
Kaveh, you have dealt extensively with Prime Minister Imran Khan's administration. You have met Shahzad Akbar. You have been speaking to Prime Minister Imran Khan through Minister Ali Zaidi. They have been making allegations of corruption of tens of billions of trillions of dollars against their political opponents. You have done these investigations for over 2 decades, forensic investigations. What do you make of these allegations?
Well, I can do no better than the High Court in London. They brought their big file to London and the court threw it out. They said, this is rubbish. You can't go and make these accusations against people based on newspaper reports written by your friends. You can't do that, and you know which friends we're talking about. It's nonsense. So they had the tools available to a state, to a government, to a National Accountability Bureau, okay? I had the tools available to top investigative outfits here, and we put a lot of money into it. We found nothing, and obviously National Accountability Bureau found nothing. Why do I say that? Look what the High Court said in London. They said this is rubbish. You found nothing. Go away. The Supreme Court in Pakistan said all sorts of things, but even they refused to turn over documents. And then you saw what that crook Justice Saeed, when he did his report, he says even he wasn't given the information. So give me a break. And whatever you call this, don't call it an investigation. It's a fraud. It's a fraud masquerading as an investigation. It's there to mislead and fool the population of Pakistan into believing that they have an entity called the National Accountability Bureau that's interested in fighting corruption. It's nothing of the sort. 22 years of having dealt with them tells me it is nothing of the sort.
Kaveh, you went to Oxford with Imran Khan, you studied together, you were a big supporter of Imran Khan when he came into power, you supported his accountability drive. Where did things go wrong? Why are you disillusioned? Why are you disappointed?
When the facts change, I change my views, and the facts change. We were all blinkered, and we suffered from the illusion that Imran had every intention of fighting corruption. Disappointment is the minimum, I would say. It's a minimum. You're using good Oxford understatements. You know, I am profoundly disappointed with the Imran Khan government. Profoundly, they have no interest whatsoever in the rule of law. They have no interest in obeying court orders. They have no interest in investigating corruption. None whatsoever.
UK's National Crime Agency investigated Nawaz Sharif's brother Shahbaz Sharif for money laundering, criminal theft and misuse of public office and various other criminality allegations. But after 2 years, they gave Shahbaz Sharif clean chit and found no evidence of corruption against him on the basis of the lots of so-called evidence provided by Assets Recovery Unit of Pakistan. Why do you think the National Crime Agency did not take this investigation further and drop the whole case?
Because there are professional people here. They don't have political agendas. They let the facts lead them. They are forensic investigators, and the forensic investigation clearly did not back up the allegations. And they had the tools, they have the means, they have the funds, they have the other resources to be able to do that. And when they came to the conclusion there's nothing here, I am bound to be grateful, because that is the conclusion we came to. There is nothing against the Nawaz Sharif's or his family that would stand up in a half impartial, honest court of law. There is nothing. And that's what was demonstrated in London at the National Crime Agency's investigation and the High Court's dismissal of the application to freeze their assets, etc.
Thank you so much, Kaveh.